Hello, everyone. My name is Megan, and welcome to this live. I'm here because it's almost the end of the Candyland 48-hour readathon, which means we're doing sprints to close it out. I'm sad but happy that this 48 hours is going to be over, but I'm here to sprint. Obviously, if you watch this back later, thank you for watching. And if you are here now, hello, I hope you are doing well. The plan is to do about 45-ish minute sprints. If we want 30-minute sprints, we'll adjust. We'll do whatever's best. But I'm going to be here for a couple of hours, and you can already see the dog who may create a little bit of chaos during this live. So I might have to move in the living room if she's being too much of a brat. But I am still trucking along with Trust of the Emerald Sea. I have 3 hours left in the audiobook, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with this book. Yeah, my dog is already... She clearly wants to play. I'm still obsessed with this, so the aim of the game is to try to get as much of this done before the end of the 48 hours, obviously. So welcome in if you decided to join along. Also, peep my new shelves, which I'm going to show you obviously more in depth, but aren't they pretty? So much better to look at. And my cute little butterfly blanket. I haven't sprinted in my office in so long. Hello! Yes, I'm so glad you're here as well. I'm sad you weren't able to be there this morning, but it was a very quiet morning on Patreon, so you didn't miss too much. About 150 pages left of your book. Nice. I think I have about that much as well. I think I'm around that range, so we're in this together. Excuse my dog. She's so annoying. I love her, but if she's not with me, she becomes like this, which is so annoying. Do tell me what you're reading, though. What is the plan for these reading sprints? What is everyone reading? Also, before I forget to say, if you are participating in the readathon, do not forget to enter all the books you finished on the Google Doc if you want a chance to win the gift card. It will be open until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm so sorry for her, you guys. Hello, you were able to finish the graphic novel from this. Good. Did you end up enjoying it? Like, out of 5, what's the final rating? Do tell. I do have them on my shelf just over there. I was staring at them before. You made me want to read them. Oh, that is exciting. You're like in full swing getting ready for this readathon. I'm so excited for the discussion tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to sit down with Skandar and kind of go over the bigger plot points that I want to discuss, because it's like revisiting one of your favorite books will never not be a good time. I'm glad you think they're cute, because after a while, see, like, I didn't answer her cries with one toy, so now she's trying with another toy, because I've never met a dog in my life that loved being around people so much. It's insane. 3.5 because the pacing is a little off. Again, I wonder if it's all about the traduction. I can't talk. How the book was not originally in English, or if it's just, it is kind of what it is. I really regret not buying them in French, though. We could compare. It looks like she might quiet down, so maybe I'll get to stay in this cozy office for a little while. Hello, welcome back in. Back with the same book, which is of Bone Hill by Ava Morgan. About 120 pages left now. You can finish this today. Fingers crossed. I feel like we're all in the like 100, 150 page mark, which is pretty solid. I feel like it's a good place to be, for me at least, at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Like, it doesn't scare me too much. I hope you're enjoying it, though. Do tell. Oh, a little dog. Yes, all the dogs. I love that for us. They make the best. I say that. I include my cat in this statement too, but they make the best reading buddies. I also have my bunny, who is having a little nap. My cat is having a nap in the bedroom, and now my dog is being the little tiny guard dog. I will say, and I talked about this, I think in my vlog. I don't know where I'm saying this information. I feel like there's too much all over the place. But when I had an incident earlier this week where I had to call the police because there was really scary people dropping off illegal things at my front door and then yelling that we owed them money, and I was like, sir, like, I don't even drink alcohol. I am not doing this. And so she was barking, trying to warn us that there were sketchy people. So we called the police, and like, she is an icon for doing that. I'm assuming this is yes, you're enjoying it, which, like, I love that for you. And yes, oh my god, I was so scared, petrified. And like, I've worked with a big amount of people who like struggle with mental health, and I always get along with them, but like, it's different when it's like 11:30 at night on a Wednesday and someone's like banging on your window and just kind of disappears and then hides in your backyard and then comes out and is like, you owe me money. I slept with like furniture in front of doors after that because I was so afraid. But my dog, being the queen she is, was like, Miss Ma'am, there's an intruder. So love that for us, because at first I thought I was dreaming, but then I realized it was not a dream. It is. I do live in a sketchy part of town, I will say. So it's not my favorite, like my first encounter with not so nice people. We had like our entire garage broken into, and like they stole for like 20 grand worth of stuff. And like, we have insurance, and obviously like things were good, but like the people had stolen our baseball bat, and if we were going to enter the garage, they were going to basically us just so they can steal our stuff. So like, PTSD. I looked into buying them. I wanted the Amazon one, like the whatever it's called, but like the reviews are so bad and people are saying like it's super laggy, so I'm like not even sure it's worth it. But I do have cameras in that house, and we have a security system on the garage and cameras in the garage as well. We are learning, but it's still, it is a need though. I will be, they're in my cart. I just need to click purchase. I think it's a little dog thing, unfortunately. My dog isn't super into like barking. She'll whine, and like if she's really like trying to alert us, then she'll bark, or she'll bark if another dog barks. But I was scared because wiener dogs are known to be like 24/7 barking, and she's not too bad. So that was a random tangent. I don't even know how I got here, but all that to say, she's whiny but also iconic. Are we ready for our first sprint? I suggest we do 45, but if that's too much, we can move it down to 30. So what do you guys like best? Because I want to get back to the Crimson Sea with my main girl, Tress, and the crew of pirates that I am beginning to love and question all at once. We're ready? Nice. I am so hyped. I have been in such a reading mood this book. If you haven't read this book, this is me recommending it for like the 30th time this weekend. Preferably 45. And ready. We love that. Hello, hello. I don't like to be bossy. I mean, it's not bossing around, it's giving your opinion. You can't force me, but you can let me know. Hello, hello. Welcome in. I think we'll go for a 45-minute sprint. So I'll set it all up and we can regroup back in 45 minutes. And hopefully everybody will have done a bunch of progress. So let's go, you guys. I'll see you in 45. Hello, hello. How did we all do? I'm sorry it's starting to get a little dark. Let me put on the light. Much better. How did we all do during this sprint? I got to chapter 45, page 248. So I did make a significant amount. I think I have 110, 115 pages left. So not bad at all. Hello, hello. I think you joined during the last sprint. Reading Her Dark Lies by G.T. Ellison. Is that a romance? Why do I feel like it's something I've heard of before? I hope you're enjoying. Trying to finish it today. Good luck. I feel like we're all trying to finish one last book. Hello, hello. I love your profile picture, by the way. Love the colors. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining in. We're at about 40 pages, so about 110 left. I feel like we're pretty much at the same spot. I probably read around 40 pages, maybe a little less, like 35-ish. Made it to 42%. Fantastic. Almost halfway through. That's great. What are you reading? Do I know what you're reading? Am I just silly and forgot? Had to cook, so got about 12 pages in. Fair enough. Gotta be responsible and feed ourselves. But 12 pages is still pretty solid if you also had to cook during the sprint. Fair enough. Also, food. What did you order for dinner? Do share with the class. I had McDonald's today because both my partner and I are very tired, and he had band practice this evening, so we didn't really have time to cook. Ooh, please let me know if you're enjoying, because I want to read that. It's on my summer reading list. Says the girl who has 20 books she wants to read during the summer, and none of them are on my August TBR. Indian. Oh, I rarely eat Indian food. I definitely think it's something I should probably eat more of, because I've enjoyed some of it when I've had it. I had an internship where my supervisor was Indian and he had made us Indian food, and that was really yummy. Reading G Yonder by Ali Standish, historical middle grade. See, that's something I've never really ventured into. I'm not a historical girly at all, unfortunately, but I'm wondering if historical middle grade would be different, because I love middle grade so much. There's a few that are coming out this year that I was like, oh, this looks intriguing, like the cover and everything, and then I realized they were historical, so I kind of decided not to. But I may eventually be convinced otherwise. I mean, I am in a fantasy journey now, and I didn't used to love fantasy, so maybe the same will happen with historical fiction. Who knows? 5-star for me so far. Nice, because I feel like I've heard so many mixed things. At the beginning, everybody's like, I'm obsessed with this book, best thing ever. And then recent reviews have been a little bit all over the place. So I'm glad to hear you are enjoying it. They're almost halfway through. So I hope the end isn't crap, because I feel like sometimes it's all in the third act breakup, or how the third act is. That's usually hit or miss. Beginning and end in romance are usually very crucial, at least to me. Same just summer. Yeah, I feel like it's hard with publishing, and I'm noticing it this year a little bit more. Christmas books come out in October and summer books come out in April, and everything is kind of delayed or early that way. But I do understand that it very much feels like a summer book. So yeah. I feel like summer's going by so quickly. I had this whole TBR of books. Well, I mean, my entire shelf, but a whole TBR of books I wanted to read, and then August is literally this upcoming week, and I'm like, what have I been doing? Not reading is the answer, but you know, we're making changes. I agree. And it sucks because like you want to support authors that you really love by like pre-ordering or ordering their books so that like they're hyped during release. And I mean, supporting them at any time is good, but like when authors have big numbers during release, it obviously helps them get more book deals and stuff. But like, I'm not in the mood. That's a lie. I was gonna say I'm not in the mood for Christmas in October. Christmas is like my favorite thing, but like end of October, okay, but like October 2nd, maybe not. Usually like fantasy or adventure middle grade, but historical middle grade is good at tugging at your heartstrings. For sure. I feel like fantasy and adventure middle grade is pretty much all I read. And like looking at my middle grade shelves, I don't even know if I own contemporary. I think I have like 5 contemporary middle grade books out of like these 2 entire shelves. This this one and the one you can't see on this side are both middle grade. I love the escapism that middle grade provides, but I do think it could be a good way, you are right, of like gaining new perspective on actual historical events. Fall is biggest. Yeah, I feel like it is for a lot of people. I for a long time was a spring and summer girly. Like just the fashion, the colors. I am a very bright colored vibes kind of person. And I feel like all of that I get more out of in the spring and summer. And I love like romances, the beach, all of those things. Like most of the sports I practice are during the summer, but I'm slowly transitioning into being a summer and fall girly. So I'm actually pretty excited for fall this year. And I think the fact that I'm reading more fantasy makes it even more exciting for fall because I feel like it's like what is big during the fall time. So I'm actually pretty hyped for the upcoming fall season, but like I'm still not wishing away summer because here, especially in Canada where I live, winter is almost like 6 months. So like when fall arrives, all I can think is like the hell that is coming with winter right after. And I am not down for -40 and snow all the time. So just thinking about it now kind of makes me want to cry. I feel like a lot of people like historical middle grade. I have a few booktubers. I feel like Books and Jams reads a lot of historical middle grade, and she gives out pretty good recommendations if ever you're looking for more. I do think that like one of my itches for reading, like wanting to read historical middle grade, really comes from her because she talks about it all the time, and she has such good middle grade recommendations. So I love her channel. I reference her all the time, but I really do. Are we ready for another sprint? Was 45 minutes good? That we want longer, shorter, the same? Do tell. $45 is fine. Perfect. That's true. There's just something about cozying up when it's a little colder and it's dark outside that is very satisfying. Like now it's 8:30 and it's still sort of sunny. And she really does have great recommendations. I feel like she's such a great voice for middle grade, and everything they do for middle grade March is also really awesome. So, yeah. Okay. So if we're ready for another sprint, I get to go back to my pirate fellows and we can all do another 45-minute sprint and get back to yapping afterwards if that's all good with you guys. Yeah, I don't think I could. handle a summer in the South, though. Like, people who live in, like, Texas, where it's hot all the time, and you guys have, like people have, like, tornadoes, and, like, I watch Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, I'm like, our climate is slowly becoming like that with, like, 40-degree Celsius days, and I'm like, "Absolutely not." On that note, I'm gonna stop yapping and start reading. That sounds brutal. Also beautiful, but brutal. Loving all this living in the States girlies. I feel like hardly anyone that watches my channel is actually Canadian, which statistically there's more people in the US, but it's always confused me. Hello, hello. I feel like the lighting just keeps getting worse by the minute, but how was this sprint? Do tell how it went. I got to chapter 52 or page 285. So I assume I read like 35-ish pages again, which not bad at all. We are very much getting into the thick of it and just like plot twist after plot twist, and it's a vibe. It feels very piratey. I've said it time and time again. I was on the quest to find the best pirate book, and I think the search is finally over. Oops. Yeah. On that note, before I move into seeing how you guys did during the sprint, I feel you. We are in the middle of a heat wave, and it's about 40 degrees during the day. Like, I could not like live like this every day of my life. I love the sun. Don't get me wrong, but I also don't like it that much. 43 right now. I think it's about, let me see. How hot is it in here? See, it's cooled down for the evening. It's like 30 degrees now. Not as bad. 22 pages in. Nice. That's a solid sprint. You've been reading quickly. Was that like another 40 pages? Go you. That's pretty solid. About 10 chapters left. Nice. Are they long chapters or short chapters? Because that's always like, in this book, chapters are like 5 pages long, but in The Way of Kings, they're like 50 pages. So, made it to 48%. Nice. 2% away from half. The book I am reading is this right here. It's Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. It was his first secret project that he did and blew it out of the park. Hello, hello. It's been that's not too bad. I feel like mid 80s, probably like solid limit. The thing here is like I feel like there's a difference also between there's some areas in the States where it's not as humid, but here it's the humidity that kills us, because like 30 degrees when it's like not humid, living my best life. When it's humid, not so much. It was hot earlier today, yeah. It was about like 38 degrees for us today, which like it wasn't so bad because of like I read outside most of the day during Patreon sprints. And it was in the shade. I still got a little bit of sun, but it's when you're out in the sun, it's ugh. Yeah. That I feel like 90s slightly uncomfortable, and then when you reach the hundreds, it's like get me out of this short chapter space. And there's this whole thing. Some people I feel like they like long chapters. I am definitely a short chapter girly because I feel like I'm making more progress, and it keeps the momentum going. Kind of like I feel like one book that did short chapters well was The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Like that book had flaws, but the short chapters were pristine. I remember when I was reading that, I was like, okay, just one more chapter, and then I'd flip and like I'd read 50 pages without knowing. I've been reading Spider-Man Venom Factor book from Marvel. I'm 20 pages. Nice. I have wanted to get into Marvel before. Like the movies, the comics, everything, but I still haven't. I feel like there's so many things to do, so little time. I'm so glad you added it to your TBR. Honestly, even if you don't like fantasy, I'm not the biggest fantasy girly, but like I love pirate stories and I love Brandon Sanderson, and I swear like this book is so heavily tabbed and just everything in this is so quotable. And again, I know I'm so annoying. I've talked about this a million times, but now I want this as a tattoo. And also, I'm sorry, it has a talking rat that you can sort of see here. It's the cutest thing ever. Cutest thing. It's like the perfect blend of pirate stories and romance and friendship and like a quest and learning about yourself and like leaving your home for the first time and just there's so many things. Oh, I just had a little bit of eczema behind my knees in the spring and I was like wanting to rip out my skin. So I don't know how people like I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. Like obviously it's not it's not a choice. I was gonna say I don't know how people do it. Like clearly it wasn't a choice, but it sucks. At least it's so funny. Like I could not like as much as I'm not the biggest fan of like snow 6 months out of the year, living in the desert for me is a concept I will never understand truly. I wish I could like I really want to go and visit more places in the States because I feel like I've only seen a few. I definitely love to visit the desert, but I don't think I could live there in the 90s. Yeah, I feel like the heat wave is everywhere. Nice. We love a nice bookshelf. Oh. I love when reading is actually a family thing because it's just I wish people in my family read. Or actually, scratch that. I wish people in my life read in general. I have one really, really, really good friend who we just talk about books all the time. And he's actually the one who's put me on to Brandon Sanderson. And I made that friend read romance for the first time. I made him read Love Theoretically. That has been a fascinating experience, but like I don't have any siblings who read, my parents don't read, and that's kind of why I made a YouTube channel to like find other people who read books. And I feel like I struggled for a few years with YouTube with like finding actually people to talk about books with, but like I'm starting to get to know a few of you, actually a few of you in here, and it's really fun. Crossing my fingers. It does. It's a very popular book. I feel like Brandon Sanderson is pretty much everywhere. These books, like, it's the biggest Kickstarter campaign ever. Um, so I'm assuming your library would if you have pretty good English books. Like my library would not. I say this time and time again because I feel like people don't necessarily understand what it's like to live in a place where English isn't the main language. All my libraries are French. The English section is probably smaller than the amount of books I have here. Uh, so I can't be like, my library. And then I unhaul books sometimes, and people are like, why don't you just get books from your library? I'm like, not everything is like in the US where there's huge libraries and books in English everywhere. So I love that for you, but not gonna lie, a little bit jealous. And so is my wallet. Whoops. Yeah, short chapters for the win. I get why there are like longer chapters in certain books, but it just becomes very tedious. And sometimes I just want to like read a chapter and set it down. But like if you have to commit to a 50-page chapter, it's a little bit harder to pick up the book. Oh my God. I can't even imagine on the face, like just having a little bit of dry skin makes. I know there's like creams and stuff. I hope that stuff kind of helps you, but like, can't imagine. It really is the killer because I feel like a nice 25 degrees without humidity. I'd live in a climate like that like 24/7 every day of the year. Yeah, I feel like it is kind of like where you're born is what you get used to because like I don't know life without snow and cold and like it's getting to a point here where it's like a lot less cold than it used to be and there's a lot less snow like the past 2 or 3 winters I'm like where is the snow which like global warming but like I can't imagine not having snow and not being able to go like ice skating and like go play in the snow like I just feel like for me if I wouldn't have had that in my childhood I would definitely have felt like I'm missing out but like that's my Canadian roots if you've never had snow then like do you really feel like you're missing out. I feel like we are all book nerds here, eh? Like to I love that, and like the mid-year book freak out tag is such a fun thing to like do, and I love watching people who do those tags because I get to find a bunch of new people on YouTube. Right? Isn't it fun? I feel like YouTube is definitely like a I was gonna say a really easy way to make friends. I don't think that's true. I feel like some people have an easier time, and again, depending on where you're located, I just feel like it's and again, a little bit easier for people in the US to make friends and like chat because again, everybody just assumes people are from the States, but like I have been more struggling more so to like find friends that like are in close proximity. I had made one friend who lived just a couple hours away from me who was Emily, um and she had a booktube channel and she's actually one of my patrons now, so some of you might have seen her pop in and out. um but she stopped making videos, but like it's still great because I got to know her and stuff. But other than that, everybody I've like met and talked to has been in the US. See, that's cool though. I feel like I've tried to have people in my life like read books with me or read my favorite books. Um and it really hasn't happened. Um which kind of sucks because like I feel like honestly the weight of my heart, if someone would take my favorite book and like annotate it and say like these were all my thoughts while reading it, here you go, I'd be like, you are now my forever person, thank you very much. One of my same friend who read love theoretically read my favorite book, which is Stalking Jack the Ripper, hated it, and that was all their conversation there was, but at least that person read it. That really sucks because I know I went to the doctors and they like prescribed a cream and my eczema went away, but then again, it was like a minor issue, so probably not the same. It's never too late. I mean, if you post it in November, maybe not. It's still July, so I definitely go for it. Honestly, what I find is like you just need to kind of put yourself out there. Um, Reading sprints, tag videos, commenting on other people's videos, just like those kinds of things will bring people to like chat with you. I was so scared of doing live sprints because I'm like, what if no one shows up? And like sometimes one person shows up to my sprints and I appreciate the time I have with that one person. And like if nobody watches, why would I care? Sometimes there's a lot of people here, sometimes there's like one person, and it is what it is, but it's brought more people um to my community, which I am forever grateful for. Oh, see, I'm sure there's a place on the internet for everyone. Go you. I'm not sure what is oh, yes, you're referring to yes. Isn't everyone in this community sweet? Y'all are super nice is all I'm going to say. Oh, I swear we all have the weirdest. I for one am still waiting to go see like a specialist because I can't breathe out of my nose. I've lost my sense of smell. I spend every waking moment with allergies. My mouth and ears are always itchy. I literally can't smell by the nose. So if you block my mouth long enough, I'd probably die. And like we've tried so many things with like medicated sprays, allergists, and I'm apparently to like allergic to like basically everything that's not food. I'm allergic to dust, trees, like everything. And like for me it's just kind of become normal, but I wake up every day and my nose kind of leaks all day long and it's just not super convenient, and I'm really looking forward to the day where like something can be done about this, if something can be done. But like it's become a safety issue as well. Like my apartment, an old apartment I had like 4 or 5 years ago, at one point I put something in the microwave too long and the microwave caught fire, and I can't even smell smoke. Like I can't smell something if you put it up to my nose. Like there's literally I have no sense of smell, and I've lost my sense of smell for like 7 years. And the only time it's come back is when I've gone to the hospital for like X number of time and they had to like put stuff through my nose because I was dying. But yeah, can't smell. So like I don't even remember what things smell like at this point, which is very sad. I used to like love the smell of lavender and I just can't even tell you like make up in my mind what lavender smells like anymore. Um very random side tangent, but like losing a sense in general. Like I don't even know how people who are deaf or blind do it. Like losing your sense of smell is probably like the least dramatic, but it still sucks. That was a little fun fact about me. So I cannot tell you if something smells good or bad or is burning or if my life is in danger. I would not know. Oh my god. Yeah. I should not have pets because they also don't help my condition, but I don't think a life without pets for me is worth living, so I have 3. Used to have 4. Got a bunny, a cat, and a dog. None of them are hypoallergenic because if my nose is going to run, might as well have pets, is all I'm going to say about that. Did we want one last like 30-minute sprint? I don't think I can do another 45 because my brain is starting to be all mushy, but I can definitely do one last 30-minute sprint if you guys are up for it. Um, I'm sorry I don't usually chat this long, but I feel like I'm in a chatty mood because I've been reading all day and my brain is getting a little bit mushy. But if we want another 30 minutes, do let me know. If not, I have no issue ending it here as well. Whatever you guys want. You can read more. Also down to do another little sprint. Perfect. I'm again sorry for the lighting. That's what we're here for, to read and discuss and just keep each other company. It's the joy of sprints. One thing of like COVID jump scare that was actually nice was kind of like the evolution of sprinting. I feel like it's definitely taken much more space in the book community. 30 is fine. Perfect. I really want to get back to it because like a major plot twist just happened and I gotta know what happens next. So I will catch you guys in 30 to kind of round everything out. So enjoy the last sprint, you guys. Hello! I do not want to scare you, but this sprint is officially done. Do let me know. How did it go? I got up to page 308 on chapter 56. And when I tell you, stuff has been happening. Stuff indeed has been happening. And I have like an hour left of the audiobook. It's bittersweet because I'll have finished my first ever read of Trust of the Emerald Sea. And I say first ever because this is definitely going to be a reread. And I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I've committed for like the first time ever to highlighting in a book because there's just so many amazing passages and quotes that I'm going to want to look back on. And so I'm going to go back probably tomorrow and highlight everything else I've tabbed, which is insane. I never write in my books because if I want to resell them or just, I don't know, I feel like insane when I do, which is why I don't. But I just felt natural. Like I had the itch to get a highlighter and just be like, and once I have a little more funds, I definitely want to get the Dragon's Deal edition of this because it's beautiful and I need it. I need it oh so very badly. 54%, nice. Made a lot of progress. We'll try to finish tonight. That is ambitious. We love the ambition. All my pets are making noises. My bunny is just like eating and it scares me. Warbreaker, is that like a standalone? The first, oh, I know this book. And honestly, I recommend all Brandon Sanderson on audio. The Storyline archives are amazing on audio. I struggled with the first bit of that book, and then I got the audiobook, and then I was like, I'm sold. I love the narrators, especially the male narrator, and the narrator for this book is the best. This is the best audiobook I've listened to in my whole entire life. Not even exaggerating, the voice of the narrator. And I mentioned this yesterday, but for those of you who don't know, the story we follow in Tress of the Emerald Sea is the story of Tress. However, it is not narrated by Tress. It is narrated by another character that we see in the Cosmere. And so it's like someone telling you this tale of Tress and how Tress is feeling and what Tress is doing. But it's done by breaking the fourth wall, and like the narrator acknowledges you and the fact that like this world and our world, the world we know, is not the same. And it's so witty and funny, and the way that this story is told is so engaging, but it's so much better on audio. And the voice of the narrator just fits this so well. And I know that Brandon Sanderson is going to write more about this character. I think this character will eventually get its own book because you see this character multiple times in the Cosmere. But the voice that this character has in this book is not exactly what he decided to land on for when the character actually has his own book. But I will say, could not fit better than it did. I'm blown away by this book. See, I'll also forget that like time difference is a thing because it's 10 p.m. here. So, but I know you're not the only one in this time zone. But that makes more sense. I feel like at 7 p.m. there's definitely time in the day for you to do some more reading. I encourage you. 10 p.m. is like later than my bedtime most days, but as I said time and time again, I'm on vacation. So I can go to bed whenever the heck I please, which is very fun. I love being on vacation. Which leads me to say, if you guys want more reading sprints in the upcoming week, do let me know. Whether that be Patreon sprints for my patrons or just public sprints for anybody else. And also, do not forget to log your books for the Candyland Read-A-THON. if you participated. I will say it time and time again, the form closes tomorrow evening at 11:59 Eastern Time. Yeah, I feel like all his books are part of the Cosmere except those superhero books. I forgot what they're called, but I don't think they're part, but so many of his other books are just all part of the Cosmere. This is part of the Cosmere. I think all his secret projects are. It's just such an expansive world that he can literally do whatever he wants with it, which is great. Man, I wish I was on vacation that long. This is my last full week of vacation. Then I work 3 days, and then I'm going to my favorite place in the world, which is like 2 hours away from me, so it's not like dramatic. But very excited. Off until Thursday. Nice. I'm thinking most likely reading sprints will be happening for sure on Wednesday because it's gonna rain all day. So like, what else am I gonna do than read? So I can mostly do on Wednesday, but I have plans like tomorrow, and then there's the Scandar live show at 7:30 Eastern tomorrow. But any other time, I'll most likely be free, which is great. I love that we're like all on vacation at the same time. And I haven't had a vacation in like almost 2 years. And it's crazy. Like, and I know like this sounds so dumb, but I've been working full time for a year now. Like, I finished school over a year ago. I mean, I'm going back in literally a month, and I really don't want to, but like, I've been a full-time worker for a year. Time flies. That was a side tangent. So I think I will end the sprints here. I've been sprinting for almost 3 hours. Go me. And I'm probably gonna finish my book in the morning, so I'll technically have failed my, well, you can't fail a readathon, but I wanted to have this finished before the end of the day, but I just don't think my noggin will be able to fully entertain the last like 50 pages, so I'm gonna wait until morning and read them then. So that closes out this evening's sprints. Thank you. Like, I feel like there were so many of you today, like, on these sprints. I never usually get so many people that stay for such a long time. So, like, thank you to all of you guys. And I hope you enjoyed. Have fun reading your books for those of you who are keeping on with the reading. And I'll see you very, very soon with other videos. There's the TBR coming this week, a monthly reset that should be coming as well. Some more live shows. Live show tomorrow for Scandar. Be there if you've read the book. And yeah, bye-bye.